Hello again. Welcome to another in the GoVolHerts Volunteer Spotlight series. I'm Deborah and thanks for joining me as we once again talk to a Hertfordshire-based charity about the work that they do, explore their volunteering roles and find out how you could get involved. If you're interested in all things volunteering, please subscribe to the GoVolHerts YouTube channel and don't forget to click the bell icon to receive notifications when we post new content. Today, I'm here with Sana from One YMCA. Hi, Sana.
Hi, Deborah. Thank you for having me. I'm the volunteer lead at One YMCA.
That's great. So I think most people have probably heard of YMCA, but your organisation is called One YMCA. I can't talk today. Could you explain to us all a little bit about your organisation and what exactly is it that you do?
So essentially, One YMCA, we exist for the benefit of others. We provide community critical support to change and save lives. We actually support some of the most highly vulnerable individuals across hearts, beds and bucks. To contribute, to thrive, and to belong in their communities. So we have a number of service areas that we support within. So our largest service area is actually our accommodation site. So it's supporting those who face homelessness and are escaping rough sleeping. But we have considerably more number of services across the county. So we, alongside our supported accommodation, we deliver a number of services that support local people. So one of which is the family services. So family centre services now are pan across Hertfordshire. We support, those who have young children, pregnancy and parenting workshops, advice, baby toddler groups, and working with obviously midwives and social workers and those in the community who support parents. With things like signposting and things like benefits and signposting to external services. We also have our domestic and sexual violence survivor support, which is abbreviated to our ISVA team across Hertfordshire, supporting those who may be scared, abused or at risk in our local community. We support overall wellbeing through our community centres. So we have our community hubs, we call them. So one is at the Orbital Hub. We have another over at Woodlands. We have a social enterprise cafe at Woodlands, which is in Leavesden Country Park. And we also have our day nursery there, which is called Charters Nursery in that same area in Abbots Langley. We also have a number of youth programs that we are running at the moment. So we have our youth clubs, which are our weekly sessions, which run within the Hatfield and Watford areas, supporting young people in a friendly environment and an informal environment, and just supporting them with social activities and just getting involved in fun and social activities and a safe space for them to just be able to thrive. We also have recently rolled out a youth mentoring program. So our first cohort of mentors was trained earlier this year. And we have a second cohort who we are looking to train up in July. And essentially our youth mentors are volunteers who will be working with us and working with their mentees for a 9 to 12 month period in one-on-one support sessions. So that's obviously just a longer term commitment and a longer piece of work, but it's extremely exciting. We have a number of colleagues who've gotten involved to become mentors, as well as some of our corporate partners and external volunteers. And we also have a new service called Dignify, who came on board quite recently. And Dignify work with schools and run educational workshops, and they challenge the normalisation of pornography and sexual objectification, and they champion healthy relationships.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing amount of stuff that you do. It's not, we just do this, we do that. We do a bit of everything. That's fantastic. So out of all those areas we've spoken about, I can see from looking at GoVolHerts that you've got quite a lot of volunteering opportunities. So are there particular areas that you're looking to recruit volunteers for at the minute? And in particular parts of Hertfordshire as well?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking for new volunteers, to join our One YMCA volunteer family. since obviously January this year, our family centre services have expanded across the county, whereas previously we were only based within East Herts, Broxbourne or Wellingham, Hatfield. So obviously it's just an absolutely massive service now, which has just opened up a wide range of exciting opportunities for prospective volunteers to come and support across the county. So obviously our family centres are dotted all over the county. So wherever you're based, we are welcome. We welcome the inquiry. We have something called our universal groups, which is the weekly sessions that run, for example, our stay in plays, active rhyme time, self-way stations. So there's a number of groups you can kind of get involved with. They run daily, different times. So I'm hoping there's something for everyone. In addition to our family services, as I mentioned before, we run weekly youth clubs in Hatfield and Watford on Tuesday and Wednesday evenings. And of course, our youth mentoring programme that I mentioned, which would be a longer term commitment. And, that'd be working with a young person in the county. Again, that's cross county. Across all of our hostels, we offer pastoral and emotional support through our dedicated chaplaincy team, and that wouldn't be able to run without its volunteer team. So, we have hostels in Watford, Borehamwood, East Herts, in Bishop Stortford, and we also have some smaller sites dotted around the county, but those are our main ones. We also have one in Hatfield. So yeah, if you live in or around those areas, and you're interested in chaplaincy support, then please do get in touch. We also have volunteer roles within our accommodation site, so that includes targeted projects. So we run a targeted project called Project Resilience. So essentially that means we're supporting residents in achieving their health and wellbeing goals. So we have my colleague who coordinates the program, who travels across the hostels to run fitness classes or classes that just boost the residents' mental and physical well-being. So if you're interested in getting involved in that, then we'd be particularly keen to hear from qualified fitness instructors in the North Herts area, so around Hitchin, potentially Stevenage. But if you feel like you have a particular skill set that you can offer, we are happy to hear from you, and then we can try and match you to a role or a location that suits you. We also welcome students from local colleges and obviously the university. We have a very large university in the area, so whether you're looking to gain experience as part of your course or simply interested in volunteering, we do our best to support your learning and development needs while trying to give you valuable hands-on experience in that supportive setting. We also do have a number of work experience students that come in and kind of support us. So that's over the summer or as part of their school placements, a few weeks at a time, and we can try and kind of slot you in and support you with your work experience placements too. We also have our one-off opportunities as well, so there's always a chance to get involved in events or single events or fundraising. So we appreciate that it might not be so easy to dedicate a few hours a week and have a regular and come and support us regularly. So please do keep your eyes peeled. We always have opportunities, especially within our fundraising and events team, and we always have upcoming events where we're happy for you to even support for a few hours, and if that's something that you would prefer, then please get in touch and we can try and support you with that.
I think a lot of people perhaps would like to volunteer, but sometimes it can be a bit scary making a regular commitment, or we all know what modern life is, and life gets in the way of things we want to do. So sometimes those one-off opportunities are really good for people, and then they find that they get quite a lot out of it, perhaps more than they expected, and perhaps in a different way to they expected.
Definitely.
But also you've got some roles where you're looking for a longer term commitment, supporting young people in mentor sorting roles, and for some people that's really going to work. That's going to be what they want. They want to do something regularly. They know where they are. So you have a real sort of variety of roles all across the county, all sorts of flexible roles. Again, Sana, would love to hear from you if you think you have something that you could offer to get involved with. What do your volunteers tell you that they get out of volunteering specifically for One YMCA? What do they get for being part of your volunteering family?
So I personally feel volunteering with One YMCA is a particularly special journey. It offers not only the chance to make a meaningful impact in your local community, especially supporting those who young people or children and those who are quite vulnerable in society, but you're also able to gain valuable personal and professional experience. So, you know, a lot of the feedback we get from volunteers is speaking about a deep sense of fulfillment they experience from helping others, especially when you're, for example, some of our chaplaincy support team who support vulnerable people in our accommodation sites. You know, those who mentor young people, they've kind of come into with you know, all that enthusiasm, with such a brilliant skill set, to want to share with those young people and to want to kind of give back to those young people and see those young people grow and thrive and develop. You know, and it's just about contributing to the wider YMCA family. I mean, we are so happy to have our volunteers, you know, join us in, for example, events. So we always get them involved in our wider One YMCA events. So whether that's our annual conferences, our Christmas dinners and our gala dinners. You know, we also have our welcome days, you know, when they come on board, which is open to all staff, colleagues and volunteers. And I think it's reinforces that camaraderie, you know, that sense of being part of that wider team. So, you know, we're always looking to kind of have them, you know, to be as part of our wider events as well. Volunteers also gain obviously a lot of practical skills and experience as well. So, you know, whether it's personal or career development. So I spoke about obviously having students on board who might be looking to gain some experience as part of their course, for example. You know, so we really do love to kind of support our students in getting where they need to be, you know, in terms of their professional career. You know, of course, you have to remember we work alongside a lot of professionals in the youth work, in housing, health and well-being, you know, a lot of external professionals we work with, as well as, you know, we have a breadth of knowledge and skills internally as well that they could gain from.
It's great for their CV as a younger person, but it also might give you an idea, a bit of a steer what you might want to do as a career.
Yeah, most definitely. And even if not, you know, even if not giving them a steer in a career path, if anything, it can help them grow in areas such as communication, teamwork, leadership. You know, these skills can be transferable to any career path or just life in general.
Absolutely.
So, you know, which is just is wonderful. I mean, one of the most, as I spoke about before, the most cherished aspects, I think, of volunteering with us is that sense of belonging, becoming part of that wider community, that inclusive community, you know, forming friendships, you know, exchanging ideas. You know, we offer a range of social and developmental opportunities for our volunteers. So, you know, we have our robust training and induction processes. You know, we offer volunteer socials, coffee mornings. You know, for those who obviously we appreciate we run our services across a number of counties, so where we can't have an in-person event, you know, we try and organize something virtual, so, you know, a virtual cuppa where they can catch up over like a coffee and a chat. So we try and offer opportunities to make sure everyone feels included. We also reward the hard work of our volunteers as well, so we make sure we always shout out about them through our internal and external comms. We have our in-house reward and recognition schemes, you know, based on the amount of hours they've supported us. And the amount of time they've been with us, particularly around National Volunteers Week and International Volunteers Day. So we particularly do shout out and make sure that they are rewarded and thanked. So, you know, whether you're volunteering a few hours a week or dedicating more time, you know, we offer a very welcoming environment where every contribution is valued and every volunteer is encouraged to thrive. Again, when we spoke about having those one-off opportunities, it's a taster, you know, it's a little taster into what that could develop into. It's a little taster into how we work and how we support and, you know, what we're about. And we hope through that taster and that kind of one-off experience, we can support them to kind of come back again and again.
That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for telling us about all the many things that you do, all the many volunteering opportunities you've got, and hopefully people watching at home will have been inspired by that, because I have been. You know, so many opportunities. It sounds really lovely. You're sort of volunteering family, you're being supported, and, you know, feeling really part of something, as well as getting the feeling of making a real difference in someone's life potentially. It's fantastic. So thank you so much, Sana. Sorry for that. So if you are watching this at home and you are interested in any of the roles we've talked about, or just want to get in touch to find out some more information, I'm going to put a link to the One YMCA page on GoVolHerts in the video description so you can find it easily. With around 500 charities and non-profits promoting their volunteering roles on GoVolHerts, I like to think that there's a role out there to suit everyone. So please feel free to browse the site. GoVolHerts is funded by Hertfordshire County Council, so we're free for you to use as organisations and as members of the public. And I'll be back next time and I'll find out about another charity and how you could volunteer with them in Hertfordshire. So I really hope that you will join me. In the meantime, thanks once again to Sana, and thanks to you at home for watching. So take care, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.